What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the latest episode of The.Layup.Line. Introducing myself for the first time really here on this channel. I go by Dolos. Since I was approaching my first 100 subscribers, I thought this was as good a time as any to experiment with a few things, including the face cam on these videos. But if you're new to this channel, you should consider subscribing. I drop NBA videos at least twice a week, so if that's something that interests you, you should definitely subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when videos are out. But with the intro out the way, let's get into talking about Jrue Holiday and the extension that the Bucks just signed him to.
AP, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Sensations thinking they know the game of basketball, they would then have to admit that they don't know basketball.
So it's been a few days since we've got the news of the Jrue Holiday extension, and I'm glad I waited to record my reaction to it because the first number that we heard was 4 years on 160 extension. My immediate reaction to that is $40 million is a lot to pay a 30-year-old Jrue Holiday. It's a super wild number to commit to, in my opinion, but I've since learned that the deal is actually 4 years, 135 mil, and there are incentive-based bonuses that can elevate the contract number to 160, but I think 34 is probably closer to what Jrue's market value would have been had he gone into free agency. With Jrue's extension, Milwaukee now has close to 130 mil guaranteed, and that's only the 8 roster spots. The core of this team is now Giannis, Holiday, and Middleton. Brook Lopez has 2 more seasons, and your committed role players outside of that are Pat Connaughton, Dante DiVincenzo, and your rookies Jordan Nwora and Sam Merrill. Before analyzing the extension, we should all just really accept the reality is that they had to pay him. They kind of had to max him out and give him whatever he wanted because in the offseason, they traded a lot of their draft picks in order to get him from New Orleans, despite him being on an expiring deal. So from that standpoint, you really just gotta kind of extend the guy for whatever he wants because your other option is roll the dice of letting him become a free agent. And in that scenario, you're still kind of forced to pay him whatever he wants because he can just leave for somewhere else. And, I'll be honest, I hated the trade to get Jrue. I thought they gave up way too much. I understand the small market teams will sometimes pay a tax for a guy that they want in trades or free agency, but to start with, the guy that they were trading for is a 30-year-old guard. Also you would still need to extend him to big money. So in my opinion, that was just that trade was just kind of bad GMing. But the only reason it makes any sense, particularly for the Bucks here to make that deal was because of Giannis Antentokounmpo. And the back-to-back MVP had a supermax extension decision. So adding Holiday was that front office's way of showing Giannis that they were serious about winning around him and serious about, building around him. But I think we all just kind of have to accept it was also a desperate move. That team has an MVP Defensive Player of the Year level guy who's really still only at the start of his prime. And no offense to Bucks fans, but 2 30-year-olds with Khris Middleton and Jrue Holiday that's just not an ideal star pairing there. Firstly, like I said, they're in their 30s. Father Time is undefeated, so as good as they are, neither of them are perennial all-star players. They're both now reaching the back end of their primes. And secondly, those contracts that they signed to, it likely means that the players around Giannis won't change for the foreseeable future. This is likely the core that they have. Those numbers aren't all that movable. Neither should they really be trying to move those guys because you wouldn't get fair value for them at this point. I think that this is a good trio, but I see them having more of a 2 to 3 year window because, as serious title threats, I just can't help but feel disappointed that Giannis doesn't have a team built around him that has a 3 to 5 year window, because Milwaukee, they might win a title during this stretch and they might not have any regrets at all. But if they don't, they've made some risky moves that will leave Bucks fans with a whole lot of what ifs about the roster that they built around their perennial MVP. And it just, like I said, it feels a little disappointing to me. But these are just my opinions. Leave a like if you learned something new, if you like what I do. Like I said, I do NBA videos at least twice a week, so if that interests you, you should definitely consider subscribing to the channel. If you missed my last upload, I updated my monthly power rankings, so if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. I've also started a new series of over or underrated. I've got episodes out on Tyler Hero and Karl Anthony Towns already. I highly recommend those if you haven't seen them. But thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.